Our last question to you is,
Yes.
how do you make your passion your profession?
Yes, that's a very good question. What is profession? You know, profession is what you do on a professional level, you know. And the way in which you can make your passion a profession is by continuing to doing it on a regular basis, you know. Your endeavors that you undertake, it can be, for example, farming, it can be any endeavor, you know. If you are passionate about it, you need to make it your profession. My cousin, whom I like to refer to, the one we spoke about, the farmer, he worked for mine for a number of years. And initially, what is so interesting in his story is that when he was initially interviewed, because he was very passionate about farming from day one. He loves animals, he loves being in nature, he feels at peace with himself and with the world, you know, when he's in the field with, you know, farming and so on. So when he was interviewed, he worked for a mine in the Irongo region. At the interview, he said he's only going to work until he's 35 years of age. And I think he was in his late 20s then. But surprisingly, they took him. He was successful. And the reason why he said that is because he wanted to farm full time. You know, he wanted to excel in farming, and he had many ideas of training young people also, you know, in terms of having a passion for farming. And he also wanted to change paradigms, particularly in communal areas where we have situations where families that are thriving and successful, once the elders pass on, you know, there's lots of strife and conflict, and later on the farming enterprise fails or ceases, you know, immediately. So he wanted to change that pattern that is currently being repeated within the communal area. So he was very passionate about this endeavor. He quit his job, took a big financial risk. He was married, he had obligations, but living out his passion was more valuable to him, you know. He would rather struggle, you know, to get by than living a life of frustration, you know, because of the fact that he's in a comfort zone.
Yes.
So he made that decision to quit his job, you know. He had other business endeavors that would help him to generate funds, but then he undertook farming, you know, and I would believe he passed on a very, very fulfilled person, you know, because of the fact that he took a risk. And that is the question, you know, are we able to take those type of risks? Are we able? And how do we, are we able and willing? And what value do we place on our purpose and on our passion? What value do we place on it, you know? And are we able to sacrifice it on the altar of having a salary, of living, you know, a content life? Are we able to sacrifice it on that altar? That is ultimately the question that we have to answer in relation to whether or not we are able to make our passion our profession.